So, did you ever get a really bad case of the Folsom Prison Blues? Well, this guy might just end up with them. So, a this guy in Reno was caught by the TSA with this fascinating little Derringer-ish number. A little 5-shot revolver with 22. Looks like long rifle or magnum from the size of it. But anyhow, that's pretty wild. And let me see here what it says about this. I don't think that it's got any metal in its construction either, which means that likely this guy would go to jail because here in America, guns have to have I can't remember. It's oh, the pin. Okay. So the pin is probably the enough metal to keep it from going through. But yeah, guns here in America, they have to have a certain amount of metal in their construction, otherwise they can't be detected. The name of the act is specifically the Undetectable Firearms Act. Basically, you have to be able to put a gun through a metal detector and detect it. If you can't, then it's illegal. And we're kind of getting to that point now with some plastics and graphene and other materials. It'd be interesting to see the first graphene barrel. But anyway, take a look at these numbers. Like, so many guns. And like, this is running from the 29th here up until the 4th. 60 guns, of which 8 were unloaded. Oh, excuse me. 60 loaded, 8 unloaded, 21 had 1 chambered, which you should have 1 chambered. It should have been 60 chambered. But anyway. 44 magnums? How do you... Exactly, yeah. How do you completely forget to... Like, there is nothing that's a 44 magnum that's small. But a lot of 380s and a lot of 9mm in here. But a 40, yeah, that's reasonable. You'll see a couple of those because that's a fairly popular round. No 10mm because people with 10mm, they're smart. They're like, I'm not gonna take a chance with this. This is better than that silly 380 or 9mm. That's kind of a lot of 22s too. Anyway, I'll have a link to this if you want to check it out later too. But the way that it works, basically, it says right here, but when you're traveling. You have to have your gun in a TSA-approved travel container, and it has to be like, it can't be in checked baggage. It can't be in stowed baggage. It has to be in checked baggage. It has to be declared, and then you have to be mindful of the city that you're arriving into, because depending on their firearms regulations, they can do all sorts of stuff. But yeah, they can't be in carry-on. Has to be checked. And yeah, like they're saying here, local, state, international governments, etc., etc. Rifle scopes are okay in carry-on, and if possible, you should keep them there, especially if you have something that's nice. And most optics are pretty expensive. But like I said, I'll leave you a link to this one for further checking outery. So. Here recently in Massachusetts, there has been basically a reinstatement of something very akin to the 1994 assault weapons ban that went down nationwide. What happened, the Attorney General, well, the easiest way to put it is that she reinterpreted the laws to basically any AR, AK, any of that style of weapon, any of the modern sporting rifles, personal defense weapons, that kind of thing. They're basically all outlawed, specifically by name and by feature set, as well as things that can use parts from them, like the Ares, for instance, that has a traditional style of function, like an old school rifle, old school semi-automatic, like a Mini 14 which is kind of a bad example, but, you know, it's got a normal stock. It doesn't have a pistol grip. I mean, I guess there's no such thing as a normal stock, but you know what I mean. Anyway, what's happened here? They decided to reinterpret a 2-decade-old law, which the now defunct Federal Assault Weapons Bill. That thing was crap. Wish I'd have known. I would have had my dad get me something cool from before the ban. Ah, well. What you gonna do? There's a story about a 1911 I'm supposed to have in there. I'll tell you that some other time. Anyway, what's happened with this? They've run into some hiccups. One manufacturer, basically what they said, the way this was going to play out is if you need to repair a gun, you can. That is in their pre-ban, but nothing new can come in. And of course, you got to register all the guns, obviously. Basically, the ones that are there, grandfathered and what have you. But what was going to happen here is dealers weren't going to be able to fix their wares. If it was going to require replacing receiver or a part that would require the serial number, it would obviously require a new serial number because you can't reprint a serial number. That's the same as doing with federal firearms laws and all guns having to have serial numbers that are, you know, manufactured in the United States. Then, you know, that's basically the same as printing out 2 bills with the same thing. It's not counterfeiting, but it's looked on real badly, and it'll get the ATF on you, and it'll shut down your business. So you can't have 2 firearms with the same serial number for tracking purposes and what have you. So what's happened here? They basically said, no, if you got to replace that, then you'll have to give them credit or pay them back or what have you. And then some of these places, that's impossible. So what happened? They updated. What was it? May I return a weapon covered by enforcement notice to manufacturer after July 20th, 2016 for repairs, replacement under warranty. I guess that's supposed to mean, and may the manufacturer refer it to me afterwards. Yes, if you purchase a weapon prior to July 20th, you may return the weapon to the manufacturer, who may return it to you after repairs are complete. Now, the original one was basically, you can, but if the serial number is going to change, that's too bad. Can't do it. Wild stuff. So, on this same note, we'll go to Governor Baker, who has come out. This is not like super cutting edge news, but a lot of people aren't following the stuff that's happening here, so just sharing. So the Baker administration, they're raising alarms on what the AG's announcement on a copycat assault weapons, warning it's created a great deal of uncertainty about pistols, other guns that have long been legal. Yeah, basically the wording of it is very vague, and it could go to the point of like any semi-automatic thing that has a pistol grip, which is basically like all modern pistols. And well, what is this here? Her office said an estimated 10,000 or so copycat assault weapons were sold in Massachusetts last year alone, though she promised that those that had legally purchased them before could keep them and not be prosecuted. It's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. The wording is incredibly vague. I mean, what they've done, they've turned a... perfect example. Here we go. Bennett notes that one Colt pistol, which he has said has the same design since 1911, has similar characteristics to a illicit assault weapon under the so-called similarity test laid out by the AG. Exactly. The vagaries of this law are ridiculous. Like a 1911 designed in, well, 1909 to 1910 and then finalized at that point. But, 1911, it has a pistol grip. It is able to accept magazines of more than 10 rounds. It is semi-automatic. What a dangerous machine. How did our boys in World War I even make it? How did they do it without just killing each other in the trenches there? Scary stuff. But yeah. So anyway, there's been a crazy, crazy run on rifle sales in New Hampshire or Massachusetts. Massachusetts, I think. Yeah. Silly me. Not New Hampshire. New Hampshire does have kind of better gun laws than Massachusetts, but Massachusetts has been like a very blue state for a very long time. But I mean, if the governor's even coming out and saying, "Hey, this is a little much," then really, it's quite ridiculous. But yeah, in the numbers, near 20-fold jump in sales on personal defense weapons and modern sporting rifles. And in a completely terrible and sad spot of news, this fella was jailed. I don't know if I don't have a current update. I'll try and get back to you with one of those if I can. But a year ago, this fella right here, he was got the hell beat out of him. He got his camera stolen, and then returned with the drives wiped clean. Has video of the attack. The authorities refused to prosecute. Very interesting. He must have got video of the wrong people doing things that he shouldn't have. So, this time, he's decided to arm himself. He's threatened by a mob of Black Lives Matter people, and he protected himself. He didn't fire a single shot. You'll notice finger off the trigger. He's, being responsible. Like, listen, back away, let me out of here. I just want to get out of here. So, Mike Strickland was arrested and charged in Portland for pulling a gun at Black Lives Matter / anarchist protest when a mob converged on him. But now he sits in jail. As one person put it, Mike Strickland is now a political prisoner in Multnomah County. Showing how intolerant and censorious college campus administrators have become, he's been banned from 2 local college campuses as well. This is completely ridiculous, and yeah, it's in the Portland area. Strickland, the man charged with waving a gun at protesters last week. Waving a gun? You see, this is how a lot of self-defense situations resolve themselves. Just the fact that a gun is there is more often than not quite sufficient to dissolve the whole issue. It's over. Problem solved. And everybody walks away. Nobody gets hurt. Unfortunately, this guy, the guy that was going to get hurt, is legally hurt instead of physically. So, I mean, I guess it's nice he gets to keep all his teeth and his, doesn't get his skull bashed in. But, he does lose his rights for a time and have to deal with the courts and all of that stuff. So, good stuff. $250,000 bond. It's quite ridiculous. So let's just see if there's an update on this Mike Strickland. What do you say? We'll do a little bit of a live search. Mike Strickland. What's the news? Any updates? 21 count indictment. Whoa! Wow! That's crazy. 21 counts? Whew. Have you got some, something other than some pictures for me, guys? Like some words or something? Oh, okay. A 21 count indictment against Michael Strickland. Indictment returned Thursday. 10 counts of unlawful use of a weapon, 10 counts of menacing, and 1 count of disorderly conduct. The weapons charges are Class C felonies. So they're trying to take away this man's rights. So he had to post $25,000. An extended clip. Oh, an extended clipazine. Golly gosh. And a plainclothes officer. How is he to know that this officer is plainclothes? The guy doesn't want to die. He doesn't want to get beat to death. He doesn't want to have his shit stolen. round in the chamber, 2 magazines. Oh, and a pocket knife. Golly, that's scary. Strickland was a journalist. Oh, did they fail to mention he had a CCW and he was trying to protect himself? Yeah, they did kind of fail to mention that. And they set the bail at like a crazy level. Basically, they're trying to make an example of this poor guy. You know, they want to show you, listen, you don't stand up for yourself. That's not how things work. If someone's going to beat you down, you better just take it. Especially if they're a member of the right groups. Well, I'm going to go ahead and cut it at that one. And I guess I'll have an update for you on this when there's a final update. Let's just hope this guy gets acquitted, because this is completely, completely ridiculous. I mean, his rights are being trampled. And the man was just trying to defend himself. So anyway, I'll have links to all this in the thing down here. And aside from that, thanks for watching. And if you got anything cool for me, leave it in the comments, message me, whatever. And tell everybody you know to subscribe. And if you like my content, I do have a Patreon. I'll be linked below too. So anyway, thanks for watching. Bye.